Bob Coppage, Grouchy Geeks, CEO of Simplex-IT, and here's what happened in April and what's going to be happening. And first of all, the thing I really want to tell you about is Simplex-IT's new AI framework service that I can't fully tell you about yet. If you've seen the webinars and the in-person events we've done, you know some of it, but not a lot of it. And the bottom line is it's ready. And we're actually talking with clients, our existing clients right now, to get a couple betas, testers going and all that kind of fun stuff. But the bottom line is what we're focusing on is executives and management, their processing and controlling and management of AI, not necessarily the AI itself first. So we're actually trying to do things, I don't know, in some kind of professional order. Anywho, spent a lot of time, went out to Chicago for a couple of days, had many meetings with people both in the business, in the managed service industry, CEOs, all of that kind of fun stuff. Got really good feedback and a lot of positive vibes on this, but we're not ready to go yet. But if you're interested, I'm actually going to be talking at the British American Chamber of Commerce, which honestly I didn't know was a thing until a month or so ago when I went to another event they had, which was very good. I'm going to be speaking at their event on May 29th and giving you a preview of what the service is going to be. But really, we're going to talk about what we're trying to accomplish. So even if you don't use our services, I think this will be useful because we're going to talk about AI from the management position and from how we want to get AI implemented in a controlled way for small, medium business organizations. So if you're interested, go to this link here, or you can check out the baccohio.org website and take a look at their event page. It's going to be over at the Aviators place over by Hopkins Airport. Should be good. Another thing I want to tell you about that's coming up is Cleveland GiveCamp. Cleveland GiveCamp is one of my favorite nonprofit events to support. If you are part of a nonprofit that really needs some web content or some IT services delivered for free, check their site out. And also, if you have some skills that you want to give back to the community by just donating some time and really having a lot of fun doing it for a weekend, check out clevelandgivecamp.org. But also, if you're a person who needs to get out there, needs to network more, needs to actually get some more practice, some more experience on some IT development skills, all that kind of fun stuff, check it out as well. You know, sometimes you can actually get a professional bang for the buck out of doing the right thing. Who knew? And when you think a bunch of geeks getting out there, do you think about us hiking? Well, this happened with the Cleveland AI and data, the Erie Canal towpath hike back on April 4th, which was a 5-mile hike that about 40 or so people did on a Saturday morning. And I went and I did this. And what was really unusual about this is the night before, I played soccer for the first time in about 6 months since I had a bad hamstring and meniscus issue. So I played soccer for about an hour and a half. And then the next day I hiked 5 miles, and I actually did about 3 miles the day before early. So I really jumped into it again with my leg. But anyway, the hike was great. There's going to be a new one coming up. I'll put a link here for the next hike coming up. It was actually pretty fun, and I was surprised how many people showed up and surprised how many of them were in much better shape than me. Back on the home front here at Simplex-IT, we had our quarterly all hands meeting where we basically go and review the past year as far as how our goals and objectives, rocks for EOS folks, and really set out and communicate with everybody what's going on in Q2. And it was pretty good. It was successful. It was great to see everybody at the event, basically at our office and all that kind of fun stuff. A lot of you know that we've got our model year concept where every year we basically evaluate our tool set and we figure out what we're doing that's going to be different because IT doesn't stand still, so we have to continually improve. And we do that. We've been doing this since 22. We've had model year 22, 23, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oops, did I say 7? What I meant to say was we're starting to evaluate several vendors for a couple of things that we're looking to do differently. In some cases, it may be a replacement of a tool. In some cases, it's an extension of the services, and in some cases, it may be an optional service. But one of the, when you talk about IT support, IT doesn't stand still. Your support shouldn't either. So if your managed service support doesn't actually look any different today than it did 3 years ago, maybe you should talk to somebody about that. Oh, I know, talk to us. Because we were talking to about half a dozen vendors on a couple of things. We've got a couple of things that we're focusing on. Um, and actually some really good conversations. Speaking of which, one of the other things we've been working on has been to really nail down some of our differentiators. Simplex IT, we are not for everybody, but we are very different from a lot of other managed service providers. And some people would say the differences are good. Some people would say the differences are bad. And quite honestly, both opinions are right. We're not for everybody, and everybody's not for us. But boy, when our differentiators match with what our clients want, it's a great thing. And you're going to see our marketing is going to really focus on what are the things that make us different. And one of those things is our communication and our transparency and how we do things and our approach and the model year process. So that was cool. Did a whole bunch of networking events throughout the month, Future, because nobody can have something that actually is a word that is in the dictionary anymore. But CSU, Cleveland State University, has been having this process for some time. If you are looking to come up with some good networking opportunities and some ways that it's not just traditional networking, but it's also problem solving and talking about how to deal with change, both from a resilient standpoint, being you're looking at both risk and opportunities, and to do so in a way that other people at the table have either been through what you've been through or at least have an insight that you're going to find useful. Um, Anywho, I've been to a couple of these events and some really good content and also great networking afterwards, of course, and all that. And I also want to make a shout out to Finn, yet another case of can't spell a thing properly, PHIN, our cybersecurity training partner, for putting together virtual game night, which was back in the pandemic day. They came out with like virtual escape rooms, virtual parties, and they threw that. And it was kind of fun to get together with some folks virtually and do that sort of thing. Back to it, friends over at Bernstein, they had a networking event that was hosted by Hangry. If you haven't checked out Hangry, which has a bunch of stuff downtown, a bunch of eateries and restaurants, and boy, are they focused on growing based on experience-based dining, and not hoity-toity, really expensive stuff, but really cool stuff. Check them out. They've got several places down there downtown, and really good stuff there. And that was followed by the second meeting, totally separate group and the like, of Tech Reads, which is something put on by I think GCP, and it's a book club for techs. And this was their second one, and was able to catch the tail end of that one because it was on the same night as the Hangry event. And some really cool stuff going on there as well. You'd be amazed how many technical technical events that are going on in Northeast Ohio these days. Speaking of which, I went downtown to Pitch Prov, which was essentially a combination of, the whole pitch, pitch night where people will get up and they'll say, hey, here's the idea that I've got. And essentially it's a dress rehearsal for if I actually spoke to investors or the like. Well, this is along with some storytelling coaching and some improv coaching, which I think, me, I'm a longstanding believer that storytelling and improv skills are ones that are incredibly useful in our business. And this was the first time I actually saw somebody put these to practice. So really cool thing on that. And one thing that I always get into, the question is, how do I find these events? Well, this is where Greater Cleveland Partnership has done a great thing, and they have put together the Greater Cleveland Tech Events website. And again, here's the link here. And this is a website that has just been put up relatively recently, and it is doing a great job as far as showing the stuff that are going on in Northeast Ohio that are directly or indirectly oriented towards the tech world. And right now, there's about 107 events that are on the website now, and it is updated every week. So check this out and spread the word on this one. I think this is a terrific thing that they're doing because the mind boggles as far as how many events are going on, and the mind boggles at how many of us are missing out because we don't know about it. Anyway, that's all I got. Oh, did you like our video from last month that we had here, let me know. Anyway, love to hear feedback on this. And with that, catch you next month.